Is it hard to start? Pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And then finally it starts up and runs and you don't think about it again. Probably as simple as bad fuel lines. The reason why I say that is because I just spent 20 minutes cleaning this with a diamond file. See all that dust back there? That's as much as I could blow off. But this whole thing is completely covered in sediment. So the whole time that we've been using these guys, if we don't clean these fuel lines and replace them, they start leaking and getting air into them. So whenever we stop for a moment, we suck in a bunch of air. The pump doesn't know the difference, so it's just going to keep trying. That's so nasty. But there was so much you couldn't see the lips on either of them. Once I pulled the hose off, took a look inside, didn't look so bad. Flipped it. This is the one that was touching this side. Look at that. How many bubbles do you think we were sucking up into the carburetor as the pump was trying to do its job? So we're going to go ahead and replace these guys. And I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning this up and make it spotless. Hopefully she'll run a lot better. We'll go from there. Also found out that this brake doesn't work so well. So I went ahead and added a washer with a rubber grommet in it. Found that it gave me a little bit more brake. So there's rubber right there. Can't get past it. It's going to seal all the elements out. It still tilts easy. I can still do it pretty much easily. Jesus, I'm not having good focus issues today. Because I don't have any clamps right now in a tight situation. Because I don't have any clamps that'll fit that. Since I'm missing one right now, I'm going to go to the store. But I got a box of O-rings. And I just picked one that required 2 fingers and 2 thumbs to get on there. And that's very tight. It doesn't want to budge. But that's a perfect circle. And it's a lot of retention. And it doesn't want to come off now. I'm also guessing that I have better contact. It still wiggles. So we're just going to go ahead and replace it. Get some new wire. I got new filters. So I'll just go ahead and install a new filter. And so far, man, she's working out really well. I'm going to go and get some hoses for these guys so they'll drain down like they're supposed to properly. These are just overflow vent tubes. There's one here and there's one on the other side. This one's for idle air, but it's important that the fuel can get out because the pump will just keep pushing, just in case this float doesn't stick. This got to go somewhere. It's going to flood in the engine, hydrolock, then we're stuck. So we'd rather dump fuel than have you stall out. The reason why we're doing this is because yesterday I noticed that every time I go through a tank, it takes more than a few seconds. It takes a few minutes to go ahead and get her to restart because she's sucking in air. And so that's the reason why we're cleaning this fuel pump, both sides. And then we're going to replace the fuel lines to make sure that it's 110%. She'd been waffling a lot. I noticed that the floor was real soft. So I went ahead and got a whole bunch of cans of foam. Before, when you did this, what you would see is it would hang all the way down. See how that side's a little bit lower? The problem I was having is whenever I went to go take off, it would still suck to the water and it wouldn't come loose. And that whole piece right there would suck up. It looks like it's still sucked up a little bit, but you could literally see where the live well was. And on this side, you could see where the battery was. So now I've got, I don't know, 10 cans, 11 cans of foam. I'm using different types. I'm using this big gap filler for the sidewalls, and then I'm using the high density, 4 times density, thick white stuff for the inside. As you can see, it's starting to purge. I'm using extremely thick 3-inch. I forget what this stuff's called right now. I'm having a brain fart. But got the white styrofoam all the way through from the top to the bottom, and there's like no gap here. Well, there's a little gap, but not much, and it pushes against the top. And when this gets in the water, that pushes up. These are all just in here right now to wedge against it, but when it's done, I have one of these big sheets right here that I'm going to lay across it, and then keep the channel for a little tiny bilge pump right here. Because every time I get water in here, it turns out to only be a cup. Oh. So far, this has worked out very well. I haven't had a single problem. The lights are working well. The connections work well. And I've made sure to give myself space to continue adding wiring without it being jammed full of foam. I'm using that for weight to press down. It looks like it's going to work out. All the spaces that I've already done it, I've done it like every 3 or 4 days just to make sure that I could give one section a nice hardening. So this whole section was done days ago, and today I've put through white silicone in all the drill holes, hoping the added structure makes a big difference, because right now the weight doesn't seem to. I love that 4-time density stuff. It doesn't expand very much, but my goodness, it pushes a lot of force. Oh yeah, we're pressing hard against that. And I want it to press hard against the bottom of the boat. Not much of a gap, but there's still a channel going back and forth from the front to the back, just in case I get water in any of it somehow. And I need to put a seal around this. That's where the water's getting in. When it rains, that live well fills up, and it's annoying. So I need to seal that and then plug the hole for it in the back. All that foam was so that I could make the dimensions for a pontoon extension, which I have and have not finished, because I thought I might get a 2-cylinder, and that's not needed. But you know, I'm excited to take her out. I'm gonna wait 24 hours before I get in the water, maybe longer, just to verify that that stuff stays hard. I waited 4 hours before I pulled that maybe 20 minutes ago, and it was pure resin coming out. So I stuck that plastic back in there and jammed a piece of foam in there. I'm just hoping it's going to continue coming upwards and then push against the side of the boat, thus giving me more area into the water and bringing the boat up. So far it's been great. I'm super happy. She's a little heavy, but we got plane yesterday. I'll show you what happened. But it scared the heck out of me because I didn't have the trim right. So the boat was literally going like this, and I was up here trying to reach the pedal way down there. It was pretty scary. I was right here trying to reach over here while the boat was doing this bit. It was not cool. By the time I let off the throttle, back into the boat just took in like 3 or 4 gallons of water. Whew. Luckily for me, my girlfriend found this extension that Travis gave me. So I went back out there and did it again. Again, we'll post a video. So it looks like I'm going to have to let go of my girl. I've had her for a while now. And the clear coat's starting to kind of changed colors. I'm not happy with that. I'll sand it back down, put a new pin in it. I have a brand new metal propeller. I'll clean it up, make it nice for the new owner. Anyways, thought I'd make a small video about foaming that thing. We'll see how good it does.